Hey, Jason Rice, another lot party quick tip. And I'm going to kind of start this slow. I want to see who all we can get popped on here, see if we can get some comments and some things going. And one of the things I want to talk about, obviously, is to buy or not to buy. We have a lot of people, a lot of talk, especially on some of these used car groups and stuff, about buying levels and wholesales, and wholesale buys are up, and should I go grab some while I can before they get too high? And I don't think availability is going to be a problem. I shared a video last week about a trucker. You could see the amount of cars. I would say thousands. Somebody said, what would you guess? And I would almost say at least 20,000, if not 30 to 50,000. And they have, and that's just one place. That's Atlanta Speedway. And that's probably happening in multiple places across the country. Hey, Caleb. Hey, Joe. Thanks for joining. I think Adam just liked the video. So, talk about to buy or not to buy. And we're pushing, and we've been talking to our dealerships to buy at your current sale rate, not your current volume, but your sale rate. Okay. And I would look at what you sold over the last 2 weeks and buy accordingly. So one of the things, now here's a little bit of a pitch. One of the things in our stocking tool, our lot predictor, we look at a 2-week sale rate by segments. Okay, even by dollar amounts. You could do this yourselves, but look at segments or dollar amounts or makes, and look at your last 2 weeks or even just your full number. So example, if you've sold 30 units in the last 2 weeks, you're on pace for 60. That's my buy rate. Okay. And so now that way, because if you look at 30 or 45 days of sales, you might miss a big uptick, and vice versa. You might had a big uptick, and now things are starting to slow down and you end up overstocking. But another way to get ahead of this, and that's what I put in here, to buy proactively. What's up, Joey? Matt on here, if anybody needs or like comment, throw some things out while I'm still on here. But what I also look at is to be proactive, and we have, again, this is something you can do. I'm just bringing it up, the fact that we talk about it. We talk about sometimes a lot predictor where we're looking at your inventory, and you should look at your inventory. If anything, you could look at your inventory by age cars that are getting a ton of activity online, especially if you have aging policy. So let's say you have a hard 60 and you got 45, 50 day old cars that are going to be leaving your lot in a few days, or at least by the end of the month. Some guys, if it turns 60 past there by the end of the month, it goes. But those cars are going to be leaving soon. So go ahead and be buying the replacement for those cars. Okay. So not only can you look at your current 2-week sale rate, but you can also be looking at cars that are getting a ton of activity. You already have 10 leads on it, or it's converting at a high pace with a few leads. So those cars already be looking for the replacement, and buy replacements strategically. If you're in one of those markets where you're very limited to floor traffic, you got to realize some of these rental rockets and niche cars can be tough. I've written about this or did a video about it last week about cars, say for example, a Chevy Sonic or a Ford C-Max. Are people online actively looking for those cars? Because if you have limited floor traffic, these are great cars. The switch cars are putting on payment buyers. One of our dealers, and this is another tip I've already done, but I want to put it in this one, is made payment options left rail on their used car listings on their website. Because again, we have these C-Maxes, these Jettas, or these Chevy Sonics, or Kia Souls, or cars that, not a ton of people are actively searching for. Those are just happen to be good cars we would put people on, as we had payments, calls, good switch cars, maybe based off payments or what they needed. And if that floor traffic isn't there, customers are going to be doing and narrowing and doing everything online. You don't have that ability sometimes to be able to go, hey, check out this C-Max. So if they're payment conscious, which a lot of people are going to be, have that ability on your website, they go to $250 a month. So, and pick out those cars that were those niche cars for floor traffic. So again, I don't think you're going to fall short on availability. I think, speculation here, so based on what we're seeing, typically March and April are stronger spring selling seasons. I think anybody that's been picked up over the last month into April and beginning of May here, and even maybe till the end of May, are picking up that spring season hangover as we're opening up economies and people are just getting to feel a little bit more confident on being out and about. So I think that's what you're seeing, and it may trail down from there, speculation, as it seasonally does. And in the meantime, these rental companies maybe start letting go of some of these vehicles to then stabilize the wholesale market. But you're always going to be available. These cars are going to be available. There's a ton of them out there. We don't know the total impact of the economy because, again, I heard somebody say, you know, we didn't have a stimulus package. It was more of a recovery package, just to help people recover from the hit they're taking. It didn't really stimulate the economy for people to be confident and spend a bunch of stupid money. I think you're seeing tax returns coming in, the added tax benefits coming in. I think people are realizing that they're going to be more dependable on their car and not, I think more people are going to be doing road trips. I think more people are going to be staying somewhat local. So but even at the road trips, they're going to want a dependable car. And so you're going to be seeing people upgrading for that purposes. So that buyer could be out there for the next 30, 45 days, and then kind of things settle down to where people really understand the total impact of this. And then if a stimulus package doesn't come for the auto industry, and Cliff Banks just did a good article, he shared it with me this weekend, thinking that cash for clunker thing isn't happening. Check out Cliff Banks, the Banks report. I don't know if he posted it there live yet. He gave me a sample of it this weekend, but good reasonings why a cash for clunker is probably not going to happen. So don't sit and wait for that. Get your used cars going, because cash for clunker is mostly for new. Get your used cars moving, buy at your current sale rate, but also stay ahead a little bit, knowing that if you have some cars leaving soon, go ahead and start looking for the replacements, because by that time that car leaves that lot, let's say you sell a car today and it's Tuesday, you go to the auction on Wednesday to replace that car, it might not get to your lot till Friday if you're lucky, and then service, and the following week, you're talking 7 to 14 days before that replacement car fills that slot. So that slot can be empty for 14 days. Already start looking for replacements, so that car's coming out of service when this one leaves and you fill that inventory slot. So I hope this is helpful. It's a combination of other tips going on. I see a lot of people talking about buying or not. Just buy to your current sale rate. You always want to be a hunter. You always want to be out hunting and looking for things and looking for deals. You don't want to be stuck holding things or sitting on the sideline with the wind knocked out of you because you got a bunch of aged cars that you're buried in. So clean it up, be a hunter, be proactive in what you're shopping for, do it with a plan. 844-LOTPOP4 if you want a free inventory evaluation, lotpop.com. And soon I will be giving out our wristbands. I've got 1,000 sitting here. There's more, a whole box sitting here. I'm going to be giving those out. So message me if it's something you think you might be interested in. I'll be starting to push that soon to start sending it out. I'm not going to do it yet, but that's coming soon. Thanks.